Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/dungeonsanddragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan. Welcome. How's it going? Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Man, is the weather beautiful in the Massachusetts area. We have just got spring has officially arrived. It's actually starting to feel more summery. We are hard at work on White Plume Mountain. We're hard at work on the third favored soul tree. We're taking a look at some melee survivability stuff. Not going to be a comprehensive fix, but we're going to be doing a little bit of work here in the relatively near future. And planning ahead toward Night Revels and the rest of the year as well. There was an interesting meeting where we were talking about, okay, so what are we exactly doing for Night Revels this year, and what's it going to look like, and et cetera, et cetera. So, little early to actually start talking about that stuff publicly, but I guess I'm just teasing it here to let you know that, frankly, heading into the Memorial Day weekend, we have got a lot going on, even if perhaps we're not able to yet share a lot of it publicly with thee. I'm going to be wrapping up week 2 of 2 on Wayfinder, and I guess let's see if I continue to have the just unbelievable loot luck. I still can't get over the loot luck I had last week on Wayfinder. That was nearly unprecedented. I don't know, man. I didn't do myself any... I didn't do the conspiracy theories any favors, let's just say, regarding devs and loot last week. But I swear, it's just a regular character, man. I just happen to pull all the good stuff constantly. What can I say? Aylin Wee wants a Maybar Reaper plate, Night Revels Reaper plate, colored violet to match the Death's Door shield. I remember raising that with the team last year, after Night Revels was done, saying, hey, if we're going to do another one of these, we should consider purple. And people seemed amenable to that. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but didn't seem like a bad idea. Purple's a nice color. I have to sell. You brought an RGB mechanical keyboard for gaming a few minutes ago. Cool. You know, I have to admit, I don't entirely understand what all that stuff means. What is the difference between a mechanical keyboard and a regular keyboard? I don't actually know. I'm going to hang on to that. That's a pretty good item there. Look at that. Paralyzing. Actually, hey, speaking of that, I thought paralyzing was named loot only, but look at that. Paralyzing, light mace of feeding. Also has bewildering on it as well. Plus 12. That's pretty cool. I'll keep that belt just in case. Yeah, legendary Hands of House Jarasco, legendary Mighty Stormreach Guardian's Helm, which I'm totally going to wear when I hit level 29 in this character. Legendary Scales of the Exile, which I'm totally going to wear when well, actually not on this character, but on a future character that is a heavy armor wielder. I will most certainly be wearing that. So, I tell you, man, look at that. Man, did I have luck. And even got that 1 against many critical confirmation rare, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable loot last week. Switch screens? Yeah, okay. I'm just selling. You don't have anything to worry about here. All I am doing is switching screens. Or selling things. Let's see. Everyone in their family doing okay? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me raise that right now. This weekend, I am picking up my 6-year-old for the summer. He spends the school year with his mother except for vacations, and then I get him during the summer. That's kind of how we have the arrangement going. And so I pick him up this weekend, and I've got him through the end of July. And then after that, I'm going to Gen Con. So it should be a pretty busy summer here, but I am not around next week. I am taking next week away from the office. So I will not be streaming next Wednesday on the DDO side. Also, if for some reason you watch the Lotro thing on Friday, I'm not streaming next Friday either. I am streaming this Friday, but not next. So next week, no weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. I'm sure either Samus or Technical will probably fill up that spot, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Wayfinder again, and then in 2 weeks I'll be on Argo. Mechanical keyboards are awesome. The response they have is fantastic. I can't type on a normal keyboard any longer. I love the clicking sound. I still doesn't tell me what a mechanical keyboard is. I don't know. I mean, aren't they all mechanical? It's the design of the keys, how they are pressed down feel. Okay. So why the longer maintenance? I notices a lot of freezes going to Marketplace after last update, related. No, but I can answer that question. The reason we had an extended downtime today, rather than our regular weekly downtime yesterday, is we had work that we needed to do to become GDPR compliant. I don't know if I assume if you're online, you've been getting about 1,000 privacy policy agreements to click yes on just about every one of the things that you subscribe to, like Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias, just about all the games, etc., etc. GDPR compliance is beyond me to really explain, but it has to do with European privacy regulations, and so most companies had to make some minor changes to their data collection policies, which is mostly a wording change because most people were already doing it. But anyway, we had some kind of AMS work, account management system work to make sure that we were GDPR compliant, so that's why it took longer today. We had boring stuff to do. But yes, we are continuing to look into the issue with loading screens. It is a very serious issue for us right now, and it's something that we are devoting resources to, especially now that our engineering and network operations people are past this GDPR stuff. Can we please add the whale sound back to Whale of the Banshee? Wow, that goes back a ways. I don't remember that one. It's a cool idea, though. I'm down for it. Will the next Mimic event have an opt-out? No. Not a new opt-out. There is a current opt-out available. Which is you can go to basically the person in the Hall of Heroes and then opt out on your own if you want to. But if you don't want to opt out, it is not going to be an opt-in. That much I can tell you. I appreciate that some folks may want it to do that because they don't like the Mimic Hunt, but I don't really see us changing that. A mechanical keyboard uses actual physical switches underneath the keys to determine when the user has pressed a key. Press a key and you press its switch down. Most keyboards are composed of a set of 3 plastic membranes with rubber dome-shaped switches underneath each key. The rubber membranes are not as sensitive or accurate, or as fast responsively. Cool! How is Crystal Cove coming along? Can we get an eye patch? I don't really know that we've, in the past week or so, really done much in the way of work on Crystal Cove. But it is coming along-ish.
The Dockside Cartwright's workshop. The
we're still hoping to, well, we're still planning to have it done in the relatively near future here. But I don't think in the last week, really, we've made any progress on it. Really, the development team at this point, all that's really left on the itemization is QA work, a bug pass, and then to do any iteration based on kind of bugs and final polish on Crystal Cove, as I understand it.
These documents show there's more to these.
But I believe right now we're really focused a lot on White Plume Mountain itemization, getting the new items taken care of, which should be real nice and cool.
Beyond the hidden doorway is some kind of fortified area. It looks like you're in the right place.
So anyway, that's mostly what's going on. That, and then, like I said, we're doing a little work. It's in front of the Players' Council, has been for a little while. So hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to release that outside of the Players' Council. We have what's being called a melee survivability work, although I would temper that somewhat by saying this is, while this is going to help with melee survivability, it's not sort of a one and done fix. I think we're going to end up having to do several iterations before we really get it where it needs to be. And there's been some, part of the reason I'm a little hesitant to really talk too much about it is there's been a lot of back and forth as to kind of what form that should take and whether this initial work is going to meet that goal and all that. So I don't really know. I'd hate to get into detail about it, kind of cause a little stir in the community and then have that not even be the thing that we're going for. So I guess I'd rather just kind of hang off and let Torque, who's largely doing the work, do the discussion on it. But if you know Torque is a good guy. He's a smart dev. If anyone can tackle this problem, it's him.
Angry growls emanate from behind the metal gateway. These bears goaded into
Oh god.
rage by the cultists.
Alright, be careful.
They will release them to the city.
I'm gonna try to take care of the small bears first, which aren't really even small. Whoopsie. Whew, nicely done. I have seen more wipes than not in that quest. Or in this section, so you did a pretty good job there.
Oh, our first time. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's a monster of a fight. What about a pirate-themed sentient gem? That's certainly on our list of things to do. I don't know whether that's going to be done in time. I'm not actually sure what the status of that is. But yes, that is totally going to happen at some point. If it's not out with the first iteration of Crystal Cove here, it's certainly going to be coming, because, you know, it just makes too much sense. Garrett, no! Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh no! No! Frozen till I die. Boom, boom, boom. Cleaving boxes is such a gratifying thing.
The pain subsides, and your anger rapidly fades. You need to finish with the Disciples of Rage quickly, before the madness can take
Das a massive sword. Which one is that? I am currently using a Vorpal Greatsword of Bloodletting. It's not great, but like I said, I don't actually have a named sword yet to replace it with. I do also have Cleaver if I need it, but I've largely found this one to be a little bit better for sustained DPS, so I've just been using that.
This must be the informant that went ahead to scout. Lucky for him, it wasn't a cultist that found him first.
Oh, and then the sword itself actually is a cosmetic. I just like the look of the sword. And it's got the Ravenloft mist effect on it. Chat with the dev in 2 weeks on it possible? Possible. Can I say a little bit on the lore of the next pack? Sure. So, for those who aren't familiar with White Plume Mountain, it dates back to a either Origins or Gen Con module from 1978-79. It was really a competitive module at the time, which was, you know, hey, can you survive at this convention? And then it was expanded fairly early on in Dungeons & Dragons history to a classic module that is one of the most commercially successful and well-loved original first edition modules of its day. The basic idea of White Plume Mountain is it's a wizard gauntlet, right? So a wizard has challenged basically, can you get through my tower to get my treasure? And so the dungeon itself, rather than being, say, like a large landscape mountain area, is actually more of a gauntlet-style traps and puzzles and encounters sort of thing. So it's got really cool, unique mechanics, certainly for the time, and things like that. So it's a really cool and neat adventure, and I don't want to get too much into spoilers, because if you aren't familiar with it, it's going to be new to you. And it just might ruin the surprise to tell you too much about it. But if you're familiar with White Plume Mountain, then I think you're going to find that we are pretty accurate in our depiction of it. Additionally, White Plume Mountain was turned into a 5th edition adventure, although it was largely kept intact from its 1st edition roots. Some of the mechanics were updated, but the module itself is pretty similar. In the Tales from the Yawning Portal book that came out, what, about a year-ish ago from Wizards of the Coast? And that also included, say, an update to several other adventures as well. So our version is going to be a mix of the 1st edition and 5th edition, but since the two are really almost exactly the same, it's going to feel very similar to people who have maybe only played the 1st edition version of it. Then finally, because we're doing an adventure pack, and rather than just one module, we're adding our own unique new adventures to White Plume Mountain. And that adventure pack, well, if you've looked at the map of White Plume Mountain, like, there was a very classic map that came with it. You might be able to predict approximately what we'll be doing with the other adventures that are not otherwise in the original text. The other big, I guess, piece about White Plume Mountain and why, in large part, it made a lot of sense for us to tackle this as our next classic adventure pack is White Plume Mountain is well known for its sentient weapons. What?
The quests are unrelated to White Plume Mountain. The other quests are unrelated to White Plume Mountain.
That's not what I was told.
I don't know who told you that, but that's not
You told me that. Yeah, you did. Well, alright, just a second. Come here. Alright, hang on a quick second. Okay, well, I just had one of the devs come in and tell me no. So apparently they are not related to White Plume Mountain, even though that... I guess I'll have to have a conversation after the live stream here today. But whatever, so... Alright, so maybe they're not related to White Plume Mountain.
Best take them out now before they realize you're here.
Clearly, there's a miscommunication.
The documents you found show that while the Disciples of Rage welcomed the theft of the harbor beacon, they did not steal the artifact themselves. The unknown culprits have already shipped the beacon to Sharn.
Have we set the levels for White Plume Mountain? Yeah, but I don't want to give that right now because I'm not 100% positive as to what it is. I know certainly we're having a legendary version, though. Is it as big as Ravenloft? No, it's not an expansion pack. It is an adventure pack.
With these quarters cleared out, the cult should be greatly weakened.
Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to keep up on chat and all that sort of thing. Also, hang on. Someone left the door open. Alright, there we go. Will favored soul enhancements get done for update 39? I'm going to say probably. Although I would say I don't know. What do you say? Favored soul enhancements. Specifically, I would say probably in regard to the third tree, not a revamp of the other trees in favored soul. That is on a wish list of things for us to work on, but it is not yet sort of penned into a calendar.
The book is instantly engulfed in flame. Yet before you can congratulate yourself on a job well done, the burning...
Anyway, what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted was that if you're familiar with White Plume Mountain, you'll know as well that White Plume Mountain is known for its sentient weapons. And that is clearly something that makes a lot of sense for us to then use as our next classic pack. I've seen that fight go a lot worse, too. Yeah. These hateful stairs are tricky. They're probably the toughest encounter, the toughest mob in this adventure. They will wipe you out. Especially on this end fight here, which we're going to do, or last quest here, which we're going to do in a little bit. I think you'll find that one of the tricks on that is to manage turning the enemies into that. Well, someone got a legendary limpling song. That's okay. Someone got a Twilight... oh, Tiara Madness. Nice. That's pretty good. And even to the right character there. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, legendary compliance. I don't think I even know this one.
Exactly.
Always good to see the Sork get the caster item. Are there going to be any new puzzles? In terms of what do you mean? I think you'll... I think, you know, I don't want to get into spoilers on White Plume Mountain, just because if you aren't familiar with the classic pack, I want it to be a surprise to you. But the White Plume Mountain itself is known for kind of being about some kind of tricky things that you got to work your way through. Why is there no new actual look on the Update 38 items? I believe in some cases it's because the items don't really have a look, and in some cases we just are choosing to spend our budget on some other things. Beating a dead horse, Bear Die. Yeah, sorry, Jeffrey. So I wasn't able to get you that sneak peek on Bear Die yet. It's in the works, but I just don't have it ready for you. Do I have a schedule for the times you'll be dropping the new pet eyes on the different servers? Kind of. Following along this of me saying I'm going to do something and then not having time to do something, I have to kind of reevaluate when I'm going to do this, because all of a sudden the Memorial Day weekend hit and that was that. So, yeah. But yes, I'm hoping to do that not next week, but the week after. White Plume Mountain was a Gen Con adventure. Thanks. I couldn't remember if it was Gen Con or Origins. I knew it was one of those two. So Snow White Fox, can I say if the sentient weapons from White Plume Mountain will end up in the game? The answer is both yes and no. We're not going to have, say, 1,000 people running around with Black Razor, but we're going to be doing something. You will see those famous sentient weapons in the adventure pack. Yeah, Sheed Fan said some time ago, Sev had said, we hoped at some point to upgrade the UI for the Adventure Compendium. We haven't heard anything about it. Yeah. It's on the wish list, but exactly as you state, it just hasn't been able to become a reality yet.
The Drow Guard looks you up and down, then he motions you over.
Welcome, we are on the last quest of Update 38 here. Can you please tell us why we can't sell or use our old guild ship to upgrade to a new one? It was really just a design decision at the time. We set the prices for airships not as trade-ins, but as unique items.
The drow of this small encampment rise to their feet and attack.
Perhaps in the future we could revisit that decision and perhaps let you trade in the airship for some plaid or something like that. But in terms of the why, it was just a decision made at the time that we did it. And as far as why only one, there's a long story about that. But, you know, we only support one airship at a time.
Find the ornate mithril lock. That should be fun.
Maybe we'll be the first.
The guard tells you that the Drow Temple
We're looking
is
into it.
forbidden to outsiders. If you want to get inside, you'll need to seek the favor of the 3 Scarrow Elders of the village.
What about returning throwing mugs? I was actually thinking about that just the other day. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, Linabelle is back with us in a full-time capacity. And she'll be doing some itemization work in addition to other things in the future. So I am hopeful that we're a step closer to getting our thrown beer mug. No promises, though. It's such a good idea. Yep.
The skeptical Scarrow Elder says you must pass the Hunter's Trial, which starts in a cave to the east.
That's easy. All right. I haven't really been able to follow up on that Mithril Lock thing. The last where it's last left off is I told the person who made the quest about it, and that person said, "Well, we just haven't found it yet." And I still think that that's not accurate. But I don't know what the final status of that is. We're gonna have to get the person to look into it some more. Are client mods not allowed? I was looking into making a client mod to fix a part of the French client, that sort of thing. No, we don't typically allow for client mods. Ultimately, it usually comes down to what the harm is. But as a general rule, you can probably say no on that. Memorial Weekend bonus days. Let me look that one up, actually, in just a little bit here. Monstrous Plant Hunter. Nice.
The jungle floor rumbles to life as a massive, shambling mound rises from the muck.
This is the easy one. I don't suppose anyone's got a D-door? Yeah, I would think a thrown beer mug might make a lot of sense for something like a Crystal Cove item as well.
You have found favor with the second elder. The Scorro Elder asks you to find 5 luminous mushrooms in the jungle to the southeast.
Don't eat the glowing mushrooms. Just a good idea.
To help unless you first complete the warrior's trial. Apparently it starts in the cavern to the west.
Yeah, Fire the Dragon Leader. I know that our support team is pretty swamped right now. There is that forum thread that kind of explains a little bit about what's going on. Hopefully they'll get back to you sooner rather than later.
A deep rumbling growl can be heard drifting through the thick jungle.
I usually follow the left when I'm doing these mazes. You know, you can either follow the right wall or the left wall, or, you know, wander around aimlessly if you would prefer. I tend to do the left wall rather than the right wall. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that. Maybe others have a different method. That's just the way it works for me. It feels wrong to go on the right wall. Oh, bear trap, okay. I have to say, this is one of our better mazes, too. It's surprisingly tricky to get around here sometimes. I actually try to be careful not to pick up the collectibles until I'm on that side of the wall. For me, it kind of helps me get my way around. Alright, can we get another D-door?
Time to deliver them to the Elder.
Right wall is good maze practice? Maybe, but it's wrong. It's gotta be... it just doesn't feel right. Yeah. What quest is this? This is Toxic Treatment. The final quest in the Update 38 Adventure Pack. Wander aimlessly works best for me. Yeah, I like it. The sunbeams on the ground kind of mark your path. That's cool. That's interesting. I like it, Cosmic Dog. Very nice. Is that like the brown acid announcement at Woodstock? Yeah, probably. You know, just so you know, if you don't attack the mother scorpion here, you're fine. Then you don't get attacked by the other scorpions. Or at least fewer of them. Not like it's a problem for this group, but... Ah, black pudding. Where's my ooze beater? I don't have an ooze beater. Let the group kill it. Fight like a good fighter. There we go. folks. Wow, that worked. Groovy.
The lever is pulled, and the gate blocking the temple entrance opens.
Oh, thanks, Paul. I really appreciate it. Who are the top 200 players? Well, clearly I'm one of the top 2,000. I don't know. Probably not even that. Where are we going? We are going this way.
Heat and humidity radiate from this passage, making the air thick and stiff.
This is actually an optional section, but we're going to do it anyway.
This section of wall looks like it could be
Alright. Where am I going? What am I doing? Okay. Could have sworn there was something in here. I know there's a chest up, but I could have sworn there was something in here too. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright. Fine.
This section of wall looks like it could be scaled with a bit of effort.
Oh, okay, there is. Why did I not see it? Alright, I missed something here. What did I miss? Oh, right there. There it is.
The lever is pulled. The flame barrier blocking the magma chamber flickers out. This section of wall looks like it could be scaled with a bit of effort. The hot, dry air in the chamber smells. chanting of Sulatar Drow fills the chamber.
Just checking my rage time. Smash that great.
Anyone need time?
Collapses to the ground, her life spent.
Cool. Got that tasty ham. Nice. Someone had a pork barrel.
And it's roasted.
Yeah, I'm not really a competitive gamer either. Still got two
An
Umber
Hulk
Hulks.
erupts from the wall and attacks. A scratching, scrabbling sound echoes
Nice.
around you.
Cool, and that's all of them. Where am I going? Here we go. I have not yet gone to the weekend bonus. Let me take care of that in just a bit here. Yeah, this voice actor was indeed also in Ravenloft. At least I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. So Sheed fan, I did mention about the Adventure Compendium. It's not tabled indefinitely, but at the same time, it's not something we currently have penned in either.
You've earned the favor of the village elders.
Hard to tell
and convinced the guard to open the way to Volkur's temple. It
what the
lies to
future is on that
southwest of
one.
the village.
Something we'd like to do. I just don't know when we're going to get to it. I'm not typically able to give you a heads up on sales information. I apologize. But I can get you the bonus information here in just a second. Alright, we have got a buddy weekend, so that'd be plus 10% XP for every member in your party other than yourself, not including raids. This is for parties. And a double mysterious remnants boost that goes on, starts tomorrow, and we have it on the calendar as running through Sunday, but I'm going to assume that in reality it's running through Monday. I'll make sure to lock that down before I announce it tomorrow, but since no one's really going to be here to turn it off Monday, I'm going to assume that it is indeed running until Tuesday.
The smell of smoke fills the air.
Alright, good enough. Yep, happy Memorial Day in the United States. This is a big 3-day weekend. Unofficial kickoff to summer, as it were. A lot of kids getting done with school. And it's true, both Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax have passed. But they will be remembered, among other places, for their work in Dungeons & Dragons Online. You can still hear their voices for DM work in the Threnal Ruins and in Delira's Tomb and Graveyard.
You spot disciples of rage.
So I have found, here's the trick, if there is a trick. There isn't really a trick. It's just careful tactics. These disciple eye horrors will turn into hateful stares when killed. So, if you do not kill them, you do not have to worry so much about the hateful stares. That said, it's easier said than done. And then when you do kill them, try to kill them generally one at a time rather than a whole bunch of them, because a whole group of those hateful stares will take you out. Yeah, so don't kill the disciples until we take care of the rest of the hateful stares that are around. You mean Dave Arneson? Yeah, didn't I say that? So this Beholder isn't tough, although the Beholder does have a lot of hit points. But it's really these hateful stares that are the challenge in this quest. And the big reason they're a challenge is I see a lot of people just destroy all the disciples and then try to deal with the hateful stares, and that's really not a good tactic because they will decimate you. Whew.
You have retrieved the vial of the Vulkur's gift venom for House Jurassic.
Cool, I'm now level 28. Good timing as well. Snakebite attack and damage, huh? That's pretty cool. Seems like something I might indeed be interested in. Oh cool, someone got a Trapper's Delight. Legendary Planar Spike. That's awesome too. Legendary Volcour's Edge. That's pretty cool as well. Looks like we got a nice mix of named items here as well this time. Clear out a couple things I don't need. Yeah, not so much, I didn't get any named items this time, but the rest of the group got some good stuff, so overall I'm actually pretty happy about that. And I did get a few cool things as well. So that is the Update 38 Adventure Pack. I would recommend it if you, I mean, granted I'm Tobias, but man, there's some good loot in here, and some pretty fun quests. Go. All right, so thank you very much for joining me. I will get you a DDO points code in the in-game mail a little bit later on today. Am I going to be giving away some eyeballs? I'm going to do that soon. Probably not next week, but the week after. I'm sorry it's been delayed. I just ran out of time this week to get things done and get it scheduled. No Fridays on ice this week. That word comes from back Lagore. And I will not be here next Wednesday either. So I will see you in 2 weeks on Argonesson for more of the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to getting you some more information about Update 39 in the relatively near future. Have fun, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, if you are celebrating it. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.